everybody. Right, okay, finally had time to sit down and record this video, which I'm really been quite stoked about. I haven't had a chance to get gameplay images of this, but I wanted to kind of go through the newish version. So this is 1.3 for me, version of Rayleigh from OP12. I've taken a lot of stuff on board of what people have been saying. I've seen a lot of different videos and I've seen a couple of lists that are going around. This is not the finished product still. I'm still umming and ahhing about certain things, but I'll show you roughly where we are today. So, in the grand scheme of things, I really feel Rayleigh should be played as a constant aggro deck. It should be fully committed to beating the living snot out of your opponent every turn possible. So, I'm going to go through the kind of aggro-y cards first. I'm going to also show you where my strategy normally tends for me to go, which should be pretty obvious with the cards that are in the list. So I'm going to start off with what I consider to be one of the key cards, which is the new OP12 Monkey.D.Luffy. This is, and I have learned something new about this card. This is a really strong 4-drop for 4k for 4. If you have 2 or more Don attached anywhere, I'll just repeat that, anywhere, he gains plus 2k power, and it seems to be permanent. It doesn't seem to be for the duration of the turn. He's permanently 6k as long as some 2 Don is attached to something. I am going to wait for the official English rulings to come out with that. I didn't realise it was, I thought it was originally, and when we were playing together, me and my son, we were like, no, it can't be that, that'd be way too powerful. But it is a Don attached to any other card, which just makes him really, really good, a good solid 4-drop. Again, reveal 2 event cards, and you can play any red character with a power of 3 or less, 3,000 or less. So that actually leads on to the drops that can go down with him. So I've narrowed my list down to, and it seems to be pretty common across the board. We're going to go, strangely enough, with the 3-drop Sanji, which makes absolutely perfect sense because it's a 6k for 3, because in your turn it automatically gets 3,000 extra power. So if you're playing that and then you bang that down, it's ready to go next turn. So this is very much about refilling your board and going again, okay? But it's having all that stuff down and just continually battering your opponent with it. All right. So that is it's a 4 of no hands down, no questions asked, because as well, when your opponent blows it up, you get a card. Okay. The next one, which I like for this deck, and I've had a little bit of an epiphany with this, but is the OP12 Jinbe. Now I believe this is not a straw hat; it's just a fisherman, but it's a 4 for 3. When you play it, if you reveal 2 event cards from your hand, it gains rush and 1,000 power, so it's 5k. Which, with Rayleigh's ability, you can then reveal the same 2 cards again, and suddenly it's a 7k rush. So it makes perfect sense. Okay. And the last drop out of this, and by all means these are not the only drops you can run, but the last drop for the aggro part of the deck is this promo Luffy. Now this is the only card in the deck that will rotate in April at the moment. So it is just a straight up 3k for 3, but when it's got 2 Don attached to it during your turn, it gets 2k power. So essentially it's again another 7k for 3, and comes for free off the back of the Luffy. So they're the main targets when you're aggroing. Okay. To speed up your aggro a little bit, I've included, after watching other people, 4 jewelry Bonnies from the starter set 21. It's a 3k for 1, and when it dies, as long as it's got 2 attached to it, when it dies, you draw a card. It's always going to have 2 Don attached to it, because you're going to get it up to 5. You're then going to pump it up with Rayleigh. There's cards in here that force that 2 rested Don onto a character. So you're always going to have that opportunity to draw a card. It's actually a really good early aggro card. I really, really like playing it. But that's the end of the aggro. Okay. So what I've done is, originally I had a few different support cards in there. So I've stuck with the majority of the support cards. I'm still running, and I'm going to butcher it, Still reading for Shikaku, or Shikaki, yeah, that one. So, Shakuyaku. Yeah, I'm sure your anime nerds are going to kill me for that later. It's a 1-drop searcher. It gets you a Luffy, which means it searches out the 3-drop or the 4-drop, or it gets your event card that you need. Okay, so this could be the difference between you not having 2 event cards to be able to use the abilities or not. What also makes it really nice is it's a 2k for 1, and you can pump it up with Rayleigh. You can put the Don on it. Again, it's another early game aggro. You should be getting in with her for 5 or 6k minimum with her. Don't be precious with her. The second support card is super important for the deck. It's still the best searcher in the deck, which is the new OP12 Boa Hancock. Okay, so this one is on play. You can look through the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal an red event card or a Monkey.D.Luffy, and put it into your hand. Then place the rest into the bottom of your deck like normal. And in active main, you can trash the character and give one of your leaders or characters up to 2 rested Don cards. So again, it facilitates pumping up the other cards such as these. It's really important that you run a lot of cards that do that. So just as another point, Luffy, when he comes in, puts 1k of rested Don on something else as well. So the last of the support cards, I am currently running 3 of the new Nami from ST21. Now I put this in because its ability to rest it and give 2 rested Don to one of your Straw Hat Screw type. I was really stoked about this until I realised Jinbe is not a Straw Hat at the moment. It's good for everything else in the deck. At the moment I'm not planning to take it out because I like it. It poses another threat that you guys have to deal with, but it doesn't go on to Jinbe, which is a little bit disappointing. I still like it though. Like I say, it gives a tempting target when you rest it for your opponent to go shoot up. The next support card is the Sanjis. So these are a 2k as well, which makes them beneficial. Again, they are a little bit of detriment because they actually give one of your Straw Hats with 6k power or less, 6k power or more, unblockable. Again, everything but Jinbe usually can get hit by it. The other 2 main support cards can't, and Bonney don't get hit by it. These 2 are still debating whether they're going to stay in at the moment. I love the 2k counter. I love the fact I might make one of my big Luffy's unblockable, or I might get a Sanji through. It's not perfect, but I do like it. And since we run so much limited 2k counter, it makes sense to run it in the deck. So this is my surprise. Now I'm only running 2 because they're a bit nichey, but by God, can they win me a game? So OP11 Franky, 4-drop for 4. What this guy does is when it's your turn, once per turn, if your opponent plays an event card, i.e. a counter event card, all of your characters get 2k power. Not all Straw Hats, not all 3 or less or anything, all of your characters get 2k. It just sits so well in the strategy. If you're playing a very heavy event deck, some of the purple decks use quite a lot, for instance, this could be the extra 2k you need to punch through an attack. I love it. There's only 2 in the deck though, because there's a good chance you might come up against a lot of decks that don't run as much event. So this is the perfect, perfect counter. So that's all the new part of the deck. Again, Nami and Sanji, I love them both. I'm wondering if because of the Straw Hat restriction, whether I'm going to remove them or not. I don't know yet. But they have been doing a job. So I've stuck with the original amount of Haki. I've got 4 Conqueror's Haki, which is the counter for, give up to one of your characters or your Rayleigh's 2k power for this turn. And then if you give a rested Don to, if you give so you may rest a Don, to then give your opponent's cards minus 1k for the duration of the turn, which is nice. It's a 2k counter for nothing. Essentially could be a 3k counter. You've got can't even speak. Observation Haki. So this has actually made its way back into the deck because I originally took it out to leave Armament Haki in, but I actually now prefer this. It's attached to an active Don to Rayleigh, and then you can look at the top 4 cards and either put a 3-cost red card, character card, or a 3-cost or greater character card, or an event card. It's a really good searcher. Okay, it just allows you to pull out the drops that go onto Luffy. Everything in here, if you've noticed, is a cost of 3. Oh, it won't pick up the 2Ks. It will pick up the 4Ks and the 3Ks, and there's not an issue at all. Right, last event cards. I'm still running 2 of the To Feel No Doubts because it can close out a game, giving you Rayleigh unblockable if you're stacking a load of Don on it. And it just gives you an extra 2K counter as well off the top of that. So, with the evolution of the Buggy, now we all love Buggy, the blue deck is really interesting, it's fun, but that 7-drop promo wipes this deck out completely. So if you're unaware of it, there is a 7-drop promo that comes in the starter set that says your opponent's 3Ks and 4Ks, in fact I think it's all 3Ks, 3 costs and 4 costs cannot attack. We have removal. Okay, these will both hit and destroy that 7-drop boogie. So Gum More Pistol, just a generic very good removal piece. 2 of is more than enough in there, and the reason why it's only a 2 of, again, because I wanted to run 2 Divine Departures. Divine Departure gives you an extra 3K counter if you're not having the buggy problem, or if you've got the thing on, it nukes anything with 8K power or less. That actually kills quite a lot of the efficient big bass cards in decks. So the only thing it doesn't really hit is probably like your 9-drop Zoros and things like that that are in Lim, or the big Sanjis and stuff like that. But anything that Sanji plays, this thing will nuke. I did debate going full for all this Divine Departure, but actually having the Gum helps a little bit more with a bit more targeted removal. So the big downside to the deck at the moment is it doesn't run much counter. It sucks for counter. It's very hard to be defensive with this deck. So I'll just go back. Sorry, I was slightly interrupted. So I'll just go back to what I was saying. So obviously there's a counter issue which I've mentioned, and there is but again it's a hyper aggressive. It's meant to be played hyper aggressively. You're not on the defensive. If you can squeeze a bit of defensive in, that's fine. But the whole idea of this deck is like pump up your dudes as big as possible, go for big wide swings as big as possible. You're not going to be blessed with 2K counter, you're not going to be blessed with loads of event counter. It is geared up to literally smash face. You could say it's Rayleigh Hulk, you can Hulk it. Don't be afraid to swing in for 5K, do not be afraid to swing in 6K. You should be absolutely beating the living snot out of your opponent with the cards. That being said, this is not the final version of it, and hopefully in the next coming months, especially when the set gets released in Europe, which I'm super stoked about, there'll be a few extra bits and bobs that'll make its way in. I think it's really important to remember that while stuff can go out soon, there will be replacements to come in. So I should really run the one-drop search in Nami. I'm not doing that deliberately, just because I like the other aqua options I've got. And yeah, everything's a straw hat, but it's not going to hit everything. It's not going to give me the damage I need in the early game, unlike the Bonney and the other 2 searchers. So I hope that's a little bit helpful. Again, version 1.4 will be coming eventually, as I keep watching stuff in. But at the moment, this it's won as many games as it lost, I would say. I am going to be playing on the sim later on to show it off a little bit more. But thanks for listening, and hopefully you enjoyed that.